when resources for food and education have been drained in order to build a force of masked men with a budget that exceeds that of the militaries of most nations on earth. When those masked men were dispatched to Los Angeles first, my home city, and I have seen more than 3,000 of my neighbors, like Selena clinging to that jacaranda tree, abducted in broad daylight, ripped apart from their families, their children terrorized. We must tell the truth. We are witnessing the greatest assault on immigrants in our lifetime. When our protests, overwhelmingly nonviolent, have been met with astonishing military force. In Los Angeles, the administration sent the National Guard and the Marines over the objection of our city's mayor and the state governor for the first time in history. And I watched so many of my fellow protesters maimed, beaten, trampled by cavalry. Now the administration is dispatching its troops to DC and threatens to do so in Memphis, Baltimore, Oakland, all in the name of an emergency of crime, when crime is actually falling. The only thing that these cities have in common is large black populations under black leadership, where the majority of the cities did not vote for this president. And now this president declares before all of his generals that we should be using these, quote, dangerous cities as training grounds for our military. We are witnessing for the first time in US history a president willing to build his own paramilitary force to be deployed at his whim against anyone he sees as his opponents. We must tell the truth. When civil rights heroes and their movements are being removed from the public record, the statues of white enslavers resurrected, the stories and struggles of indigenous people, black people, brown people, and their white allies, all of our ancestors who made this country a democracy in the first place, their stories being erased from history books, from national parks, from our museums, as if to erase them from our collective memory. When we're seeing queer and trans people being pushed out of public life, when we're seeing the sovereignty of our bodies as women under attack, our ability to choose when, whether, and how we make our own families, it's as if we are witnessing all the freedoms that our ancestors fought for, labored for, bled for, disappeared by a single stroke of the pen. We must tell the truth. When the earth simply gets hotter and hotter, and we are seeing entire neighborhoods drowned out by floodwaters or incinerated by wildfires, my home city in Los Angeles, we saw the Palisades in the historically black neighborhood of Altadena turn into scorched earth, incinerated almost overnight, and we're still trying to figure out how to rebuild. When this administration has the audacity to undo every protection that our nation has tried to hold up to prevent the total annihilation of life on Earth, and now says that climate change isn't real, all so that those who hold the most power in this country can continue to amass profit and more profit and more profit at the expense of our very future. We must tell the truth. When a horrific act of political violence is being used by this administration to mount a campaign of vengeance against anyone who stands against its agenda, moving to label our nonprofits terrorist organizations, moving to get us fired, to take us off the air, to suppress our speech, encouraging the far right to put our names and our faces on target lists and distribute them. We must tell the truth. If any of this was happening in any other part of the world, We would call it an authoritarian takeover. Authoritarianism is a method of rule that suppresses political freedoms and civil rights in order to concentrate power in the hands of a single leader or an elite few. Fascism is a species of authoritarianism. It looks like mass rallies, paramilitary violence, nostalgia, all fueled by a story that the dominant group has lost its power because of outsiders. And the only way to get that power back is to use any means necessary. All through history, authoritarians, fascists have taken power by force, like in our ancestors' time. That's what we're used to seeing, right? But in the last 30 years, the majority of authoritarians take power by fair democratic elections and then subvert those elections once they are in power. Across time and place, authoritarians consolidate their power by declaring emergencies that obliterate due process. That is what we are seeing. Weaponizing cruelty against opponents. That is what we are seeing. And waging campaigns of dehumanization that scapegoat entire populations, creating a common enemy. That is what is happening to immigrants in the United States right now. The root of tyranny is lovelessness. They are depending on us to shut down our hearts, to relinquish our humanity, to refuse to risk ourselves for one another, to retreat into our fear. But love, revolutionary love, the love that our ancestors called us to, is the choice to see no stranger, to leave no one outside our circle of care, to risk ourselves for one another, to make our bodies shields, to become jacarandas, to be that brave with our love. Revolutionary love is the call of our times. And this brings me to you, each and every one of you, because here's what we know. There is still time to act. Authoritarians succeed when they capture democratic institutions. All of them, right? Military and the courts, business and tech, nonprofits, universities, schools, faith communities. That's you. That's us. The choices that you make right now in this community as individuals and as collectives will shape what happens next in the story. So here's what we want you to know. Cruelty is the point. Chaos is the means. Helplessness is the desired result. But we are not helpless because we are not alone. We have been traveling this country, going from city to city, and we have met hundreds of you, thousands of you. The majority of us oppose authoritarianism. We are the majority. We must act like the majority. And that means building communities like this that are so anchored in love, so activated by our joy, a joy so deep that the cruelty that drives authoritarianism cannot take root. It means choosing to resist, weaving threads of care and protection around each other, knowing who your neighbors are, knowing that your neighbors will not obey, knowing that your neighbors have your back. But you know what? It means more than resisting. We are called to practice the world we want in the space between us. We must practice a world of belonging and dignity, care and courage. We must hold up a dream of what the whole world could be on the other side of this ash. Our dream must be more powerful than their nightmare. Yeah. And so So no matter who you are, teacher, parent, student, elder, artist, activist, community member, no matter who you are, you have a role in the story that only you can play. You have a sphere of influence that is only yours. You can decide how you show up to your front line. What does it mean for you not to abandon your post? Every time I see people who have no obvious reason to love one another come together like this, building mutual aid networks or creating safety plans or taking care of one another's children or gathering together in the dark to declare our values, to declare our love, I see glimpses of the nation that is waiting to be born.